Ziznei, Amoria Zimbabwe, thank you so much for tuning in and for listening to Zimnet Radio. And Chitika, let me take this opportunity as well to you all. I know this is our first show since the new year, and I must also say a very well thank you to everyone who sent in their birthday wish. Absolutely wonderful day on Monday. Got spoiled rotten here by my family, and I'm hoping that you guys are looking forward to the new year and your plans will come to naught. And for those that are going to graduate, I know a few people that are going to graduate this year. Motidaidzawo kuzodya nyama nekunwira andidika. Now ndisingapedzi nguva yenyu, let me introduce the panel list here we have. Tete Rosie kwa America oko, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you? How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you also. How are you there?
I'm good.
Fabulous. It's good to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll try to behave myself.
That would be splendid. Thank you so much. Sekuru Birmingham, how are you?
Yebo mzukuru wangu zviri sei manheru vana veZimbabwe masikati mangwanani kwese kunyika muri munyika ino yatakapuwa naMwari.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you enjoyed the match yesterday. I enjoyed it here. As a neutral, it's fabulous to watch, but I think as a supporter yourself, you almost had a heart attack there.
No, I almost wished I was close to that referee and they give him a veto. Why is it that Arsenal has got to play against the referee and the team? Why? Don't they want that team to just show us the beauty of the game?
All right, Sekuru. That's for another day. Thank you so much, Sekuru. Mukoma will bet. Maswera say.
So, hello, everybody. Happy New Year. All the very best in 2018. I hope Zimbabwe will do a lot better than we have done so far. This year, things will turn around.
Aywa. Thank you so much. And Suzia, Mkoma Benford, I thought your mic needs to, to warm up. That was the first time I heard you on Mkoma Chemist's show saying that your mic needs to warm up. Is it warmed up yet?
Yeah.
No, it hasn't warmed up properly yet.
Aywa, tinofara kulisei kwa America.
America but right.
How is your friend Donald Trump? I know you are the biggest fan.
Donald Trump is doing well.
Right.
The economy is booming. Everyone is happy.
And black people are happy there?
They are getting jobs, so they are happy.
The women are happy with him?
I don't know about women. Women have been angry at everybody. They are. Kana uri murume uchienda kubasa ukasurvive gore ratirineri uri mutsvene chaichaio.
All right. Thank you so much. It's good to have you on the show, I must say. Sally, I'm hearing that it's very, very, very hot there.
Yes, very hot, very dry.
Yeah.
We need rain so desperately.
Right. You can come
to. Still alive.
You can come to UK. I can give you a bit of rain. I can give you a bit of rain.
So we are okay.
Yeah. If you come to UK, I can give you rain, snow, and cold. Right. Okay. Maybe let's start. Mukama Wilbert.
Hello.
Yes, Mukama Wilbert, you suggested a topic that we should maybe touch a little bit tonight. Would you like to tell us what you want us to maybe talk about today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there have been a lot of comments regarding the present regime. People saying that we should give President Mnangagwa and his regime a chance to prove themselves. Quite a number of people have said it. Those who joined in the march on the 18th of November, and those who also thronged his visit in South Africa, and some of the media, social media, people like Mawarire and Linda Masarira have also been saying, no, we must stop and give him a chance, see whether he performs, whether he delivers on the promise of jobs, and also whether he delivers on free and fair elections. And I think it is a bad idea. And,
Can you explain to us why you think people should not give Mnangagwa a small chance, an inch, to maybe deliver? Why doesn't he deserve a chance at all?
I think people are looking at coming from a totally different angle there. They are missing the point. In this particular case, what Mnangagwa has got to deliver on jobs, for instance, that has got nothing to do with our demands for free and fair elections. So our demands for free and fair elections and political reforms should not be held just to wait to see whether it delivers on the economy. The economy itself, that is another misconception, to think that maybe you cannot deliver both on the human rights and freedoms and basic human rights because you've got to deliver on the economic front. The two are not. It's not as if they are mutually exclusive. You know, it can deliver one but not the other. You can deliver on the economic front, and you can also deliver on the political front. But the other important point there is that in this particular case, if you miss out on demanding political reforms now, and you allow him the opportunity to consolidate his power, because let's face it, ZANU-PF is now at its weakest, the weakest position it has been in for the last, since the independence, the last 38 years. So this is the time when you could really push him for ZANU-PF for meaningful change. And right now, Mnangagwa himself is licking his own wounds, because let's face it, although they tried to deny there wasn't a coup, it was a coup. You know, you can try to rephrase it and play around with words, but it doesn't matter. Everybody knows that was a military coup. He wasn't elected by anybody to be in his position right now. It was the military coup that forced Mugabe to give up power and hand over to him. And that is the time when you can say that is when you should deliver on the political front. And therefore then to make the mistake of thinking that the two cannot be delivered at the same time is a big mistake. And people should not make it. And they made it with Mugabe. And look where we are. It took us 37 years to get rid of him because there was no free and fair elections. And we thought that if he delivers on the economic front, we don't need free and fair elections. But by the time we realized he can't deliver on the economic front, it was too late. He was well dug in, and he was rigging elections, and we couldn't get him out.
All right. Thank you so much, Mukama Wilbert. Sekuru muripo here hapo with us.
Ndiripo zvokuti pfe.
Sekuru mazvinzwa zviri kutaurwa namukoma Benford, na mukoma Wilbert izvo. And he posted it to group kwedu this afternoon that, I want to hear from those people that were saying that we should give Mnangagwa a chance. Were you one of those people that said we should give Mnangagwa a chance? And if you don't want us to give him a chance, why shouldn't we give him a chance?
Well, first of all, I was not one of them who was saying, let's give him a chance.
Oh, okay.
Because when I say let's give him a chance, I will say let's give him a chance to do A, B, C, D, and I spelled it out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I said if you want us to give, when we spoke about Mnangagwa, I said if you want us to believe in him and they say he is a new president, you should tell the military guys to go back to the barracks. He didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They had to tell themselves to go back to the barracks when they thought they were ready to go back to the barracks. So, as far as I'm concerned, he will be easy. They are chingoramba akangoda mukuru wangu ashtaura nemusoro ude.
Uh-huh.
This is exactly the point that I have been making on my walls and the Twitter account. What chance must we give Mnangagwa? He staged a coup. When you stage a coup, isn't it because you got a plan that is totally divergent from the one that is in place? You want to implement it immediately. So, what other chance do you want to do what? Why did you stage a coup if you wanted a chance? If you want a chance, you wait for elections, and then you plan your chances before the election. If you take over power militarily, it means you want to do something immediately that will surprise everybody, and it should be for the better of everybody. But if you take over power and then say, now that I'm in power, give me a chance to do what? To consolidate. No. We can't have people like that. He is a dangerous person to have in power. He has been in power for too long. He has got nothing to offer other than what was there, if not worse. So what chance must we give him really? I think at the present moment, when the only chance we want him to get the electoral commission sorted out, the military out of the civilian institution of the election commission, and to stage credible elections. That is the only chance we want him to have. Anything else, he will not be able to deliver. We don't want him to deliver. We know we can deliver ourselves. So he should just give us the conditions that we want to have a free and a fair and a credible chance of selecting who we want to lead us into prosperity. If that was the purpose of the coup, which was to target the criminals around the president who had been captured by criminals, now you must remove the criminals, and the criminals are in the ZEC, and the criminals are in the National Army.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Sekuru, for that. It is clear that you think he should not be given a chance at all. Mkoma Benford, do you concur with Sekuru and Mkoma Wilbert there?
No, DJ Sodza. I think we should give ED a chance, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there are a number of questions that we need to ask. Let's give ED a chance. What are we saying? Now, as far as I'm concerned, there are people who look at ED as the same old ZANU-PF. They equate ED to Mugabe and therefore leading ZANU-PF, and as far as those people are concerned, nothing has changed in Zimbabwe. And then we have a second group of people to which I belong. We are saying change within ZANU-PF could make a difference to Zimbabwe. And therefore, we look at ED as leading a new ZANU-PF, which is different from the ZANU-PF that was led by Mugabe. And part of the argument that we present is, let's give them a chance so that they can show us what they are willing to do. And then we'll start to criticize them once we realize that they are off track. For the record, once ED came into, for the short time that he has been into power, the MDC, and this is an Obed Gutu, I know he's a prominent guy in MDC. He came out saying ED is stealing and implementing our policies. To me, that tells me that ED is doing something right. If MDC had good policies and ED is implementing policies, no one should be crying, because that's what we've been calling for. That's what opposition has been calling for. And therefore, ED is doing something well. So let's see how far he will go. Now,
Okay.
One more thing before the DJ Sodza.
All right.
We should also realize that ED himself knows the circumstances that led to his presidency. He is more than eager to show any legitimacy. So this is the time you'll be more than willing to do a free and fair election. That is the only way he's going to get legitimacy and recognition internationally as a legitimate president of Zimbabwe. And he knows that he cannot, there's no way, other than that. So he's more than willing to give that. And he has been, so far, I think, as far as I'm concerned, he has been slowly giving in and delivering those demands. So let's just give him a chance. Let's wait and see. Let's engage him where it's necessary. Let the opposition make all the noise that they want to make in parliament, and we'll see. Other than simply dismiss him as Mugabe and still the same old ZANU-PF. I think that would be a big mistake to take that approach.
All right, I've got a burning question for you. I know I need to, move on and ask others as well. You said Obed Gutu came out and said Mnangagwa is stealing MDC policies. Can you name me a couple of policies that Mnangagwa stolen from MDC?
I don't know. Maybe Anaseku would know. That was Obed Gutu, who I can't remember. The party she's spokesman. The party, I don't know what position he has. I think he's MDC party spokesman. So Anaseku would know better. All I know is for Obed to say that statement, it means Mnangagwa is doing something good.
Sekuru, can you tell us, some of those policies that have been stolen from MDC by Mnangagwa?
Well, since Benford and company have always been saying MDC has got no policies, I'm surprised that he is saying Mnangagwa is doing a good thing stealing MDC policies, because Obed could have said so.
All right.
It's amazing. He stole something that was never there, and Benford is now happy. Benford is now happy that he has stolen something that was not there. So we should give Mnangagwa a chance. However, let me just explain one thing here. The economic thrust that Mnangagwa is pronouncing is not a ZANU-PF economic thrust. It's a universally accepted thrust, which we have been articulating for years. And Mnangagwa was at the center of denying us that same economy. Now, he is now in the driving seat. He wants to say, I want to take credit for taking the country back to on its rails that I derailed. And we should give him a chance to put it back on the rails. That's absolutely nonsense. When you look at Mnangagwa's policies economically, if you look at the jobs thrust, we had a policy document on jobs, which he trashed and they say and they replaced with empowerment and sovereignty. Now, why is he going back to jobs when he said empowerment and sovereignty are the key. If you look at the way we were complaining about people farmers being ejected unofficially or illegally from their lands in a haphazard manner without getting compensation, and employees losing jobs. He is now sending the army to restore these very same people. When we were told the economy is the land, and the land is the economy, and it's the wow.
Right. Hold on a second. Tetero, Ziko America.
Hi.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Oh, how are you? I'm good.
Yeah,
I've just been listening to everybody.
Yeah, we've had quite a lot of noise coming through there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would you like to share with us what's going on there?
Yes, I'm going to try and be very calm today.
All right. Okay. All right. But they haven't said that really we don't want any single noise there. You know, even if you pour water into a jar of glass, we can hear it here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's how sensitive it is. Absolutely crucial. So please, I urge you to be in a very quiet place there.
Okay.
Yeah, just mute your mic, Rosie.
Okay,
when you finish talking, just mute your mic, and then when you talk again, okay, when DJ Sodza calls you again, then just unmute it. That's the only way that you... Okay, done.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So
I'm going to start off by saying I think ED has already gotten a chance. This man was in government for over 37 years. And he had a chance to do a lot of things while he was in government. And I know someone said, well, he's a different government from Mugabe. I personally don't see the government. I actually think he's a worse government than Mugabe, But I'm going to go through some of the things that I personally have seen. Okay, I've heard Maware, all these activists saying, give this man a chance. ED give us a lot of speeches. But what I have not seen, that everybody keeps saying, oh, this man has policies, all of this. I've heard a lot of rhetoric, but I have not seen not one single policy that spells out the objectives, how the implementation is going to take place, how long this is going to take place, and what are the measurable, and when should we even expect these outcomes? All I've heard is we're going to give land, we're going to make sure that we bring I have not heard a policy on land. Okay, when we say we're giving back land to white farmers, what is the process that's going to take place? We're able to get this land. Who is going to be getting reparations? How are we going to make sure that land is distributed? Are we going back to the Lancaster Act where every Zimbabwean was entitled to an acre of land? What is the policy? Because I haven't seen the policy. I've just heard we're going to give land back to the white people. And when you say you're giving land back to the white people, is there an inclusive policy because for me, just based on that rhetoric, and I'm one of those people who's not even, I am the least racist person. My family is like the United Nations. But what I want to understand is, when you say you're giving back land to the white people, are you implying that black people cannot be commercial farmers, or they're just not good at it? Because based on the land policy that ZANU-PF has had, the problem was not that black people could not be commercial farmers. The problem was ZANU-PF decided that certain elite group of people would get land. They would give each other their farms. Some of those, you had people who were even overseas who had a farm sitting in Zimbabwe and no one was doing anything on it. Has there been a policy that looks at how many graduates are coming out of University of Zimbabwe who have agricultural degrees, who can actually fund the land? What is the policy for young people to actually be able to get land, to get funds, to get the resources they need to actually be actual farmers? I haven't heard a single policy that makes sense. I've just had nuances of rhetoric that may attract maybe foreign investors. Oh yes, foreign Western investment, because yes, you kicked out a lot of white people, so you say the right thing so you can attract those people and say, okay, this government has changed. So I haven't heard a policy that actually makes sense. I haven't heard one yet. When I actually hear one, then maybe I can say, okay, so when you say give us a chance, we're measuring this, and at this point this should happen, and this is how it affects these people, and this is what is actually going to be measured to as success. What are we measuring as success? So what are we waiting for? When you tell me that I need to wait and give this man a chance, because I'm not hearing these policies. I've heard bygones be bygones. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so you're saying bygones be bygones. Is there a bygones be bygones policy? So what bygones is this? What bygones are actually being covered? Whose bygones are being covered? And what are these bygones that we speak of? Does it cover political prisoners, or does it only cover the people in ZANU-PF? I mean, I'm so confused about these Bidens and what they are, because I don't know what the policy is on these Bidens. There's not a single policy that actually has been articulated. I know that people saying, oh, he took the MDC policies. No, he didn't take the policies because he hasn't implemented anything. He just took the rhetoric that sounds attractive to people, universal, like what Sekuru said, universal policies that work in working economies is what he did. And then people say, give him a chance. Well, how is he going to implement? What is the policy? What are the measurables? Because I still haven't heard them. And then when they say the man has changed, okay, so yes, this government is different from Mugabe's. Yes, it's worse. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's worse. Just this week, people were arrested in Bulawayo for protesting when he was at a church service. These people were beaten up, taken by the military. Okay, this is worse. They were taken by the military, tortured, and then taken to the police. So now you're getting double torturing from the military to the police. Is this better or is this worse? To me, that seems worse. You had some kids who were arrested who were under 17, who were on their way to church, to mass. They were going to pray. They got arrested for walking to church at night, to mass, to midnight mass. Okay? So is this better or is this worse? Because to me, this seems like it's worse than what was going on with Mugabe. And then the people are saying, okay, let's give him a chance on electoral reform. Just yesterday on Voice of America, the Justice Minister of the new dispensation came out and said there will be no electoral reforms. ZEC does not need to reform because it's an independent organization. We've done all the electoral reforms necessary. So is this the change that we're supposed to be giving a chance? Because I'm confused. I haven't seen the change. I've seen a lot of see me tour. Let me go to church. Let me look humble. Let me look like Magavuli. But I have not seen the action that actually goes with the new dispensation. All I see is a person who's pretending to be something while actually being something else. So to me, there's really no change.
All right.
I don't see the change.
Okay. Ndatenda zvangu Teteros for your point there. I think for the benefit of those that are just joining us here, wondering what we are talking about, Koma Wilbert kindly came up with this idea that DJ Sodza, it's been, since November, Mnangagwa got into power and everyone was jubilant and a lot of people came out and all these activists came out and say, look, let's give this man a chance. Now we are in January now. Do you still have that sentiment for those that were saying that let's give him a chance? Would you want to continue giving him a chance of what is happening back home at the moment? That's what we are talking about here. Tetesali, what's your take on this? Give him a chance?
Hell no. A million lifetimes, hell no. And what I am so angry about, how come the opposition and the international community are not holding this man's feet on the fire about the electoral reforms? If you don't make this man accountable and hold his feet to the fire from day one, sorry, you lost. And at the moment you've lost. Because he's not going to do it unless you hold his feet to the fire. The international community are not doing it. The activists, opposition, nobody's doing it. Everybody's chum. It's It's like somebody cut their tongue out and they're all sitting and waiting for what? This is ZANU PF at its worst. This is not polite little gentlemen, okay, that jumped into a river and some apostles went and baptized him and he got reborn and he's a new man and it's a new ZANU PF. They all jumped around and got reborn again. These are the old guard. These are the guys that sat for 37 years. And the only thing that they did was treat Zimbabwe as an ATM. Nothing more. You want to give them a chance? What? What chance you want to give them? They've done everything. You want to give them a chance to do it again. You know something? This business of, it's a new ZANU PF, please. Seriously. You went through everything. You went through the torture from the army. Who ordered it? Mnangagwa. Okay? Who was in charge of CIO and everything, all that security cabal thing? Mnangagwa. What happened to people? They disappeared, they got killed, they're feeding fishes there by the Kariba wall, they're in drums with acid in them, and you want to give him a chance. People, please. Fools.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, because there is nothing to give this man a chance for. You hold his feet on the fire from day one. Because otherwise, you've got Mugabe on an overdose of steroids. This is the guy that did the killings. This is the guy that ruined all the parastatals and everything. Give him a chance. Please.
Right. You don't like it. You don't like it, Sally. Thank you so much for that. No, definitely not. Chief Soseko Masura Seiko, a happy new year to you there.
Magadi DJ Sodza, Magadi Muriye Zimbabwe.
Tinofara chose.
Ndukunzwika here DJ.
Murukunzwika ndikati munotoko.
Mamirira chief kuti vataure.
Tamirira chief kuti mutiudzewo kuti munoti kudii mimi nenyaya yaunzwa nava regai nditaure nezita ravo namukoma Wilbert vachiti ivo chimbondibvunzirai vanhu vaya vaiti kune vaya vakanga vachiti let's give Mnangagwa a chance. Are they still with that sentiment? Kune vaya vaiti ngatisamupe chance. Have they changed their mind now kuti ngatichimupe chance? What's your take on this, Mukoma?
Aiwa, isusu hatichinje. Ngoma ndiyo hatinambobvira tati ngapiwe a chance. A chance for what, DJ? A chance to loot more money. A chance to kill more people. A chance to have another genocide. I mean, people can call me, a pessimist. You can call me whatever you want to call me, a prophet of doom. But the truth is that's the chance that these people are talking about. If we give him a chance, yes, we can have another Kukura Hundi. We can have another, maybe now it will be Matebeleland and Mashonaland massacre. That's where we are going. I mean, a person, as much as these people who are claiming and clamoring that we should give Mnangagwa a chance, Iyewacho himself and his cabal should give themselves a chance. And they haven't done a good job about that themselves. A person who wants to be given a chance, a person who knows what he's going to do, should have done it from day one, getting into office. And when you want to deliver, when you want people to take you seriously, when you want people to give you a chance, you show yourself by the things that you do immediately when you step into office. And we should have seen a reflection, or just a minor reflection of that when he got power, when he selected his cabinet. When you want to succeed, you surround yourself with people who will make you successful. That was his first step, and it was a complete fail because he has surrounded himself with the same old faces, with the same old thieves. We should have seen Mnangagwa's ruthlessness by him getting rid of the old, getting rid of the thieves around him, not the thieves around Mugabe. As much as there were thieves around Mugabe, there were also thieves, and there are still thieves and undesirable elements around him. And that does not mean that I'm not saying he is not a thief himself. He's the godfather of crime in Zimbabwe. But he could, he could have gamma-talked himself by just removing, those undesirable elements around him and put in fresh legs, fresh minds, people who would have given hope to the people of Zimbabwe. People would have given hope to the international community and the regional community. But he still has Obed Mpov, he still has Chinamasa, he still has all those people who are now Pamchunguru, the people who have perennially failed to deliver before. So what chance is he giving himself here? What? There are things, DJ, that don't even need 60 days or 30 days or 100 days. Even if I take you back to our America here, Trump, in his dumbness, as a office, Trump, he had already started signing deals, he had already started doing deals. There was already something that showed, okay, maybe he's going to do something, even if we knew that he was just flattering to deceive us. But he had already started doing something. Akatosayina deals over 400 people before he was even inaugurated. What of Mnangagwa? What of Home Office? But still, up to now, there is nothing that he has done. My reforms are Gotaura is saying we are going to have free, fair, and credible elections. But what has he done? What steps has he taken ever since he got into office to make sure that we are going to have free and fair elections? Zero. Nothing. It's just the talk. But he hasn't done anything. And as Rajo don't even need him to do anything serious. He doesn't even need to sit with cabinet. What are we asking for? What are the people talking about? What should he have done by now that is so simple that even myself, I could simply have done that? We want to see the opposition going into ZBC, going into ZTV, and making, talking to the people of Zimbabwe. That doesn't take much because it's already there. All he needs to do is say, Vakumana, if you have your money, buy your airtime in ZBC and ZTV and start doing whatever you want. This is our Zimbabwe. ZTV and ZBC are national organizations. They are for you, they are for me. Let's do it. Can I'm sure that ZTV political debates. There are issues to do with political prisoners. There are prisoners who are in jail right now, rotting in jail, who should not be in there, and he knows it. Those people never threw a brick. Even Judge Bunaka, we know that they did not throw the final brick that killed the police officer. But they're there. They were just, implicated. He should have, he wants to impress the people. Release some political prisoners. This is what is happening. We want free and fair elections. There should be no violence. There should not no intimidation. You should just have stood up there and say, and this could have gone Mpurisa and Orova Moon. Mazin Gama and Kakonam Sodza and Orova Moon. Murkusin Goma Sodza. Achitaura Pamberi Pevan. But what are we seeing now? Masoja are to Patira Kupondavan, are to Patira Kurovan, Vaktoro Avanus, the West. And all we can say right now is this is just a teaser of what we are going to see in the actual election. It's going to be a bloody campaign if Mnangagwa doesn't step up and say what he has to say. There are so many things that he could have done that he hasn't done. But let's give other people a chance to speak. But as for Mnangagwa, he doesn't deserve a chance because he hasn't given himself a chance himself.
Right. Thank you so much. Regated I saw. Zvandoda kuita panapa. Sekuru, I know kuti mangamsati mapedza kutaura zvamamuda kutaura. You wanted to tell us some of the maybe some of the policies that were stolen or maybe alleged to have been stolen from MDC by Mnangagwa. Which ones are these?
Yes. Well, I was going to tell you about the international engagement. The international, we have always said we are a friend of every country as the MDC, and if we make a government, we will be a friend of every country on this earth. Mnangagwa and his crew have always said we want to look east, we want to look Chinese, and we will make it. Now, what is he saying? He's saying we want to be a friend of everybody, and Zimbabwe is open for business for everybody. Since when? He was the one who was saying, no, we will not allow anybody here. This is our country. Keep your countries and we keep ours. Now, is that not a smoke that he's throwing at us? We now look at the position that gives me an irritation. They call her the First Lady. This is an elected MP for Zimbabwe constituency. She's now going to Mutare to go and buy tomatoes. In Zimbabwe, she is not buying tomatoes at all. And she says this is a reform agenda for ZANU-PF. Now the First Lady can buy tomatoes here on the street. Or does she expect us to think that they were not buying tomatoes all the time?
And bull mangoes.
And the bull mango. Does she expect that to sell us that reform that we should give a chance to do? And she's raiding hospitals and pretending that the nurses and the doctors are rude, they are not performing. Yes, we know why they are rude. We know why they are frustrated. They are the lowest paid of people. They've got the hardest job. They are working in conditions that are untenable for a worker. They are exposing themselves to disease, to any other hazard you can think of in a workplace. They don't have the medication to look after their patients properly. And these people are crying to them that we need help. Instead of this so-called First Lady, I don't know whose First Lady it is, going to a hospital with a truckload of medicines and saying, here we have come, we are a new government. We don't want anybody to go without a drip, without medication. Here is the medicine, open that truck and they use it. She goes there to report that these people are lazy. And then what? Is that the kind of change that we are looking for? Then you hear a government setting people on social media to say Harare City Council is pumping dirty water into our houses. We have been saying this over and over and over again, that if you as a central government decide to take it upon yourselves to write off debts of a local authority, you must then provide the central government support in place of the debts that you have written off. This Mnangagwa coup government goes to town telling us through its foot soldiers, the independents, they go to town telling us that we are pumping dirty water into their houses. Before we came into council, there was no water going into anyone's house. Everybody had to dig a or put up a pole at their property for them to have water. Now there is water being pumped in there, and we say we need chemicals to treat this. Don't take the money that we are supposed to collect from ratepayers to buy the treatment for the ratepayer for the water. And we negotiate a loan for us to improve the system. The government takes control of that purification system, and the money is never received. What we receive is, what we are told is technical assistance. We don't need technical assistance. We need the equipment. Where is the equipment? We have a loan facility that the government is provided, but nothing has come out of it. Now, what kind of policies are these that Mnangagwa should sit on and say, let the water be pumped dirty as it is, and when it comes to my time, then I will pump fresh water? Garbage collection in cities is the same. Let's go to the rural areas. What has changed? What has changed? We see people are still struggling to get money from whatever source they were supposed to get it, let alone banks. They are still sleeping on the pavements. Why is it that a new government cannot say to the banks, here's the money? We don't want to see anybody sleeping on the pavements for their money. What is wrong with that? Don't they have the money in the vaults at
This is a disclaimer.
bank?
The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal.
Are you looking for work in health and social care nursing? Then look no further. Creek Recruit is here to hire. Creek Recruit offers temporary, permanent and contract placements to great prospects like you across England. Give us a call today on 0333 222 4027. That's 0333 222 4027. Or email us at info@creekrecruit.com. Step into your future.
Join DJ Sodza and his informative team live every Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time,
discussing Zimbabwean politics.
Tichazara motese mumugwagwa, tichazara motese Zimbabwe, tichazara motese mumugwagwa, tichazara motese Rodimu, tichazara motese zvasingadi, tichazara motese mumugwagwa, tichazara motese Zimbabwe. Vanhu ava vanomanikidza masi zvaisingadi, vanhu ava zvaisingadi. Mudzvanyiriri vanomanikidza masi zvaisingadi, vanomanikidza povo, vanhu ava vanomanikidza povo zvaisingadi.
Right, okay, so I've got some good news for you. Is that munowaziva mukoma ELLIOT PFEFE watinofamba nawo pano pachirongwa. He is now registered to vote ku Zimbabwe, and for those that come from Bindura North, you can go and vote for him there. He's contesting to become the MP for Bindura North there in the upcoming general elections. So for those that come from Bindura, we will be launching our campaign here for Vapfefe in the city Roro, come what may. I'm sure Mkoma Benford is join us in campaigning for him.
That's really good news, DJ. We are behind him.
Yes.
You have left out that you have left out that he has been despecified because he was a specified person. He has been despecified after approaching Toba and giving him a roasting.
Right.
Right. Now, what does despecified mean?
Yeah,
You know when those people who went out of the country running away from terrorism and things like that, and they say certain things outside the country, the government went to the Ministry of Home Affairs, and they issued a certificate to say these people are now criminals and are now terrorists against the state, and they are specified whoever sees them must arrest them and they bring them
to jail. Okay. Okay.
Yezo na sekuru pamwe tutoriwo takaisa ipapo
where is the list?
He only found out when he was trying to renew his passport. When he tried to present his passport, then he was arrested to say, "Hey, you are a specified person. Don't talk guy." Well,
seriously?
That's scary. So now he's despecified.
Now he's despecified, and he can walk around, and he could know criminal charges hanging in the background.
Oh my!
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm sure as soon as he comes back, he's going to tell us all about it. But Sekuru, one other thing that people have been sending me, because you see through the week, people will be sending me messages and asking me these questions. But some of them I've got absolutely no clue on answers on that. What happened? Why did Honorable Monzora
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, why did Honorable Monzora got rid of Eric Knight from MDC? Why?
Who is that?
Takanzwa zvakanyorwa na Eric Knight achiti iye abuda mubato reMDC nekuti wanga wasina kuwirirana nawa Monzora. Icho kwadi here kana kuti makuwa?
Eric Knight rikauti chiyangwa.
Eric Knight
was never an MDC notable member. He only came from here, the UK House, to contest the Mbare seat on an MDC ticket because of his connections with Nelson Chamisa, and he lost the seat. I am telling you the truth. No, I am telling you the truth.
No, but if you want to respect you as a party guy, you are telling us that Eric Knight bribed the MDC vice president to be a candidate, and you want us to take you as a serious party.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you, Chamisa was not a vice president at that point in time. He was the organizing secretary, and as the organizing secretary, his responsibilities were to choose the most eligible participants to represent the party.
That's even worse. What you are saying is even worse.
It's not worse. Just listen. When I say something, just listen. Because Eric Knight was closer to Nelson Chamisa, he bulldozed his way just as much as that happens in every political party. Don't even hide away behind it.
Sekuru, it's not good.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, Sekuru, let first, guys, then you can...
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that you people are yet to get to grips with about politics. Politics is a game that is played for the purpose of winning. And this is why you find some alliances are formed just before the election. Let me give you Shakespeare Maya. Shakespeare Maya was given a seat in the MDC.
Cheteros, please hold on, please hold on there. I'll give you a chance. Sekuru Pedzisai, please.
Shakespeare Mayawas they sit in Mondoro on the MDC ticket because Shakespeare was running the NAG, which was going to divide, split votes between the MDC and the NAG. And the MDC was magnanimous and said, we will accommodate you as long as you are on our ticket. If you try to be funny, we will then chuck you out from the parliament. I can give you another.
No, Sekuru, no, it's okay.
What are you talking about? What is this? What is this? Is this how we are supposed to be debating issues?
DJ Sodza, ndingamotaura.
Some things just shouldn't be said.
Why shouldn't I say them?
Right. Okay, guys. Hang on a second.
Why should you?
Hang on a second. Guys, hang on a second, guys. Let's have some order here. Teterozi, this is the third point of asking. Dokumbira ukuthi mumbonyarara. Kana sekuru wapedzaka, then you can come in and if you want to counteract what he has said. But what we don't want is for you to make those noises whilst he is talking. Then we'll lose focus. Sekuru, can you finish off what you want to say, please?
Let me give you the Ngosana Moyo was plucked out of the blue and put in as a minister of trade by the ZANU-PF regime because they wanted a technocrat there. These are common, even here in the UK, there are people who are plucked from nowhere and put in political positions for the purpose of a strategy. If you can't strategize in that manner, you need not lead a political entity because you will fail. If you allow your worst enemy to lead a breakaway and then it cause you to fail to win, when you could easily accommodate them and keep them closer and win with them. This is how we strategize. We don't just look at a straightforward, a straightjacket thing like the democracy that these young people think that everybody has got a right to speech and whatever and freedom to do this and this. You do that with an aim. You don't just speak and speak out of 10 and go on and then achieve nothing. What is the point?
Okay. All right.
Let's just add something. Panya Eric Knight, Vanessa Tawana Seguru.
Yes.
I'll be very quick. You know, I don't even know why Eric Knight decided to come out this time around and talk about what he was talking about. You know, because when he lost the Mbare election, he went out of the MDC. You all remember here, and you all remember Dr. Shumba. He came and joined Zimfest, and he was in the public relations department. We were in the same platform, and he was participating there. So at what time now did he leave? I know eventually he became quiet in Zimfest, but he did not resign. Also, we did not hear that he is no longer there, and then now we hear that he is now saying he is resigning from the MDC.
That's not
at what point, yeah. So I don't think MDC, you know, should be thrown into confusion by someone who jumped ship when he did not campaign enough, when he did not do enough in Bari, and then went on to lose the election. We might even think that maybe he was just doing it deliberately so that ZANU-PF could get that Bari seat, because he did not campaign. He was always in UK, you know, in and out of the UK. You know, he did not do enough to win that seat. And then immediately when you lose, you jump ship. That's not right. You know, he came to Zimfest. You all know Zimfest.
Yes.
Can I tell something?
We do. All right. No, but I don't want to Teterozi mukana pichana. Teterozi, you sounded as if you disagree with what Sekuru was saying there. Please tell us.
No, I wasn't disagreeing. I was just in pain because he was explaining the whole strategy. And I was hoping he would keep it to himself.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's all I was. I was just literally in pain because I was just hoping he wouldn't say any more about the strategy.
No, the strategy, that strategy is universally employed in Musukuruwangu. So don't think that they are privy to it. It's universally employed in all political parties.
Okay, but can I say something about this whole Eric Knight thing?
Yes. What's your take on it? You know, because
well, there was a whole bigger picture that maybe people didn't see that was going on. It was this whole Eric Knight thing was actually part of a larger ZANU-PF strategy this last week. What ZANU-PF has been doing, they've been trying, if you look at the rhetoric that's been going on, there's been a lot of people that who MDC who have been claiming, oh, we're leaving the party, Morgan Tsvangirai needs to resign, the party is not democratic, the alliance is not working. All kinds of stuff are being said. And then you heard Eric Knight Ashtaris and you saw a few other people, Vangalarima activists, like, oh, we're leaving MDC, oh, I'm going to now do nation building. And this was the rhetoric where they're pushing this rhetoric, the MDC is in shambles, there's no democracy, MC needs to resign, they need to pave way for someone else. Because really, ZANU-PF does not want an MDC alliance, and they do not want to meet Morgan Tsvangirai at the polls. That's all that's going on. Nothing more. Eric Knight was just being used. It's just a tool.
All right. Okay. And someone is writing to me someone is writing to me here saying that Eric Knight is nothing in ZANU-PF, so that is non-news.
My connection is coming and going.
Okay. DJ Sodza, ndimbopinda ndimbotaurawo.
Yes.
You know what Sekure just said. Let me be honest with all of you guys. If that is a representative of MDC and its ideology, then it's really sad. And they are not worth my vote even for a single second. Okay? Number one, you are telling me that they don't have a sound policy on how they select their candidate. So much that someone could just bulldoze come from the UK, talk to the Secretary General, and he is presented as a candidate. That is, I don't even know how to describe that. Okay, that is number one. He thinks that he is pinning Eric Knight, but he is showing us how disorganized they are as a party. That's number one. He also mentioned that we have even these bad strategies for the sake of winning, just for the purpose of winning. Now, this is what we've been saying all along, that these guys in MDC, they will do anything to win, even if it means the masses of Zimbabwe will suffer. Even if it means you and my brother will not have a job in Zimbabwe, will be queuing at the bank, they will do anything as long as they are going to win. To them, it's all about power. It's not about the welfare of the people. It's not about you and me. It's just about power. They want to be in power by any means necessary. Coming to what you just said, unfortunately, I thought we were going to discuss about the Mnangagwa issue earlier on, giving him a chance. Coming to Mkoma ELLIOT his candidature, okay? It's ringing the same line. I'm not saying ELLIOT is not qualified. He's probably one of the most qualified people to be an MP for BINDURA. But again, you need to have well laid down procedures. How was he selected to be the MDC candidate for BINDURA? Are you saying he's a primary candidate? Are they going to have primary elections? Is he confirmed that he's going to be MDC candidate for BINDURA? No. What selection was used? You are just telling us that Eric Knight just bulldozed himself. Is this what ELLIOT did? So, what you are saying, to be honest, you are presenting an MDC that is disorganized. Sekuru, last point, while it's on this topic, Sekuru said it's not about what you young guys are talking about, freedom of expression, freedom of what. So how are you different from ZANU-PF? ZANU-PF tells us that your vote doesn't matter. It's the gun that matters. And you are telling us that you young people, you are saying freedom of election, freedom of expression doesn't matter. What matters is the strategy. How different they are? You're not different from ZANU-PF. It really said what Sekuru said here. If that is how the MDC is organized, then it's as good as, I would say, ZANU-PF is better. Because they will never come out open and tell everybody that they are disorganized like what Sekuru has just done here. So let me stop for this.
Okay. All right. Ndichapa Sekuru mkana wakuti wapindule that, but I want to go kuna Sally. Sally, what's your take?
Network here.
Sekuru's having problems with his network. It's going in and out like mine does.
But there's nothing I can do from here, Sally. That is the problem.
Now
yeah.
It's back now. It's back now, loud and clear.
Okay, all right, Sekuru, thank you.
That's why sometimes I drop, because the network cuts and then it comes back. But anyway, yes, DJ Sodza, what did you want to ask me?
Now, the same question, did you hear the story? And also what Sekuru have said there, do you have issues with what he has said?
No, I don't have issues with what he said.
Right.
To do with Eric Knight.
Yes, and now Mkoma Benford is saying that how can they choose ELLIOT PFEFE in Bindura North? Did he go to primaries and all this sorts of nonsense here?
I'm not on anything that Benford says, because Benford just wants to make trouble. That's his whole ambition. Okay, so that's, I'm not interested.
I'm not making. You're accusing me of making trouble.
How he was chosen, I've no idea. Okay? All right? And
let me put the record straight here. Hello.
Yes, I'm listening, Sekuru, please.
The record says that people contest the Bindura constituents because he has put his name for that constituency. We are in the process of selecting representatives for constituencies. And so far it's only PFEFE who has applied for that constituency. And therefore, as far as of now, PFEFE is going to contest that constituency. Unless somebody else comes in and challenges him, which is highly likely.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I mean, look, for me, if ELLIOT has put his name down, ELLIOT knows what he's doing. I mean, he's not a 2-year-old child, okay? And I can tell you, I don't think ELLIOT is going to do something that's not above board anyway, all right? Because he knows his name and everything will go down the drain, all right? I mean, this is not a child. This is a well-matured, politically matured man. All right, so I don't question him putting his name down. I mean, I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I hope that he gets voted in, because I think that he's a man of very high standards, and his word means a lot to him and to others. So I don't like MDC, but that's my business, okay? But with ELLIOT, yes, I hope that he goes all the way. I really do. I mean, that man deserves it. He really does. He has been through hell and back. And he's not a 2-year-old child that lost his dummy in a dustbin or something. This man knows what he's doing. Okay?
Right.
And he deserves to be successful in that. I mean, I think it's brilliant.
Can I add something? This is the mischief that Benford would like to bring to the discussion, that there is no democracy in the primary selection of candidates. The ZANU-PF is better. Now, he thinks ZANU-PF is better because they don't do similar things, or they don't apply to represent constituencies. They do. And some of them are not challenged because they are just stand out in their constituencies. Now, what do you want us to go and take somebody and just put them there and say, for democracy's sake, this is the other person who is going to contest?
Sekuru, this is not about Benford. You yourself, you just said Eric Knight was just brought in by Chamisa.
Yes, and I said,
and he put himself in. Now, the party want us to clap hands for you and say, okay, you did a nice job.
No, I don't expect. No, I don't expect.
You are saying Eric Knight was not qualified to represent MDC in Mbare.
In whose words? In your words?
Through
In
by
your words.
Benford's going to sideline in everything, I'm telling you.
No, Benford is trying to say it. He tried to spin my words.
Yes, I know.
What did you say? What did you say about Eric Knight?
Eric Knight is closer to Chamisa, and Chamisa was at the helm of the selection process of the party. Therefore, the standout candidate for him as organizing secretary was
okay. But
Eric
Sekuru,
yes.
Just for the record, MDC has a selection process, right?
Correct.
Okay. There's a selection process.
People apply, they send their CVs.
Yes.
They
so
send their CVs.
That's clear.
They send their CVs now to the election directorate.
Okay.
The electorate directorate vets through these CVs and shortlist those people that are capable of representing and articulating party policy. There are many other considerations that come into it, because somebody might be the most popular candidate but cannot finance the election campaign, and the party does not have the finances to finance. What do we do?
Sekuru kana pachipinzwa basa ndichiselekta macandidates ebasa anditi ndikapinza munhu basa because ihama yangu or because I'm close to them. Haisiriyo yamunoti nepotism here.
But okay, can I say something?
Don't you even come to class that as part of corruption?
No.
Can I say something to Benford? Benford, if we're going to talk about corruption, ZANU-PF is the master of the patronage system. You can't even talk. You can't even talk. You can't even talk right now.
We are not talking about ZANU-PF.
No,
we are
but
talking about MDC.
But ZANU-PF has killed the country because of patronage. City Council. They were refusing to reduce the pay. That was dragging down the city council because their friends and relatives are employees. ZANU-PF is the master of patronage. You can't even talk about patronage without talking about ZANU-PF. Now, Sekuru, yes, talked about this, but he also explains to you, Kuti, there is a selection process that is democratic in the MDC, and you're holding on to one syllable that he said. That's why I was saying to him, don't say it, Sekuru, because there are always people like you who hang on to one dot. When ZANU-PF is the master of patronage, we can't even begin to talk about patronage in Zimbabwe without talking about ZANU-PF. They have killed the country.
Okay, let me respond.
You can't talk. Benford, you can't talk about patronage. You cannot hang on to one word. If we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, let's talk about ZANU-PF. Let's break it down from every angle, every ministry, right now. You can't talk.
Right.
Will you let me talk?
Okay.
Let me finish, DJ, so that will be short.
Okay.
This is the problem we have. Nema leaders, nema opposition, and stuff like that. Okay? Every time you want to highlight something where they're going wrong, they will refer you to ZANU-PF and they'll say ZANU-PF is worse. So what that will do is, okay, we know ZANU-PF is bad. And we are also seeing that these guys are they're getting lost already. And then because we feel that, okay, it's going to be better than ZANU-PF, and then therefore we should just support them. No. They said they have a selection process. Okay? You should have said, under that selection process, Eric Knight was the best candidate. I would not have questioned him. Because
I couldn't say that.
I don't know what the selection process was. But if you are telling me that somebody put as a candidate because of his association with Chamisa,
Benford, can I just come? Benford, can I just come in? I could not say that. The reason is that is your thinking, not my thinking.
Why?
If I tell you what I really think about an issue, the reason why I disclosed that was because in Mbare itself, its constituents, there have been several other previous representatives of MDC. Like the previous one was Phineas Denga, who was a Mbare resident, not a UK resident, right? And he was pushed to another constituency to make way for Eric, for reasons best known to the selectors, not for me to say I thought Eric was better than Phineas Denga.
All right. Pam sorry. Okay, Pam sorry. Mkoma Wilbert.
Hello.
Yes, thank you so much there, Mkoma Wilbert. You don't jump in when people are saying it all that. So I want to give you opportunity on this. What's your take on this? You've been listening very attentively there.
I think I didn't know the details of Eric Knight, but I know he was one of the many candidates of MDC, and I'm sure ZANU-PF had also a lot of candidates who have been parachuted in. And personally, I think if we start looking at how the selection was done and condemn it just because somebody has said Chamisa knew Eric, it will end up with a situation where we are saying you cannot, as Secretary General, you cannot select anybody else you know. I mean, if he was qualified, he could have been qualified. Also, I agree, it is possible that he was selected because of his connection, but we don't know the full details. So, to condemn it one way or the other without knowing all the full details, I think it's to me, it's an argument that would go on forever without proving anything. But to come back to the issue of ELLIOT PFEFE and his candidature to stand. Again, I think personally, it comes back to the first issue we're talking about. If a lot of Zimbabweans have taken this mentality that let's give ZANU-PF a chance, they will not be looking at what ZANU-PF failed to do, particularly what Chief Sosho was referring to there, that they failed to deliver on fundamental issues of free and fair elections. People should not be beaten, people should not be frog-marched to elections and so forth. If they fail to deliver that, that is one way you're saying they should not be in government. To say, let's give them a chance, we'll be making a big mistake, because then people will be voting for ZANU-PF just to give them a chance, regardless of their bad track record, regardless of their failure to deliver any meaningful change to make sure the elections are free and fair. Because if you do that, you only give them a chance to consolidate their position so that in 5 years' time from now, they will be a lot stronger, they will be a lot consolidated. It will be even more difficult to get them out.
All right. Thank you so much, Komongo. Right. As always, guys, what we do here is we want to put in a lot of questions and tackle these issues as many as we can in the designated 2 hours we have. Right. This one is saying, hello Mkoma Sodza, Tochiti compliments of the season. Could you please check with your panel, Kuti, has anyone got any more information about the whereabouts of Jonathan Moyo and Xavier Kasukuwere? Anyone at all? I know you did a show about it last month, but is there anything that has come to naught? Because I'm hearing that they might be in Goromonzi acid farm. Anyone has got any news, guys? Tete Rosie, any news on where these two are, whereabouts of these two are? I don't know where, if you were here the last time we did this show. You could, where are they?
No, I wasn't there, but there were reporters who were writing Kuti Anna, there was a reporter who wrote Hope Note, who said, well, the government is now looking for them and they're using Interpol. They're on the Interpol wanted list. WeChat, they were not on the Interpol wanted list. There was no application filed to get them on the Interpol wanted list. So I'm not sure why they were making up the stories that these people were, the government was going to now use Interpol. Even Obet Mpofu said the government was going to use Interpol. So I don't know why they were lying. So it makes the whole situation even more suspicious.
But Mimi, yourself there, I mean, it's very, very fishy, as we know how prominent Jonathan Moyo was with Twitter handle and his freedom of speech, basically. He would have had a lot to say about the coup that happened in Zimbabwe, but we have not had a word of him. Is he still alive, do you think?
Well, there's been someone who's been using Jonathan Moyo's Twitter handle. I used to talk to him a lot on the Twitter account, but I used to fight with him all the time on a daily basis. But from what I noticed, the way this person writes to me is not the same way that Jonathan Moyo used to write. It's just not. There's certain things where you fight with someone for so long, you develop a relationship.
Yeah.
So you actually know how they react to certain things, and it's just not the same person. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he's alive, maybe he's not. I just don't. I read an article a few weeks back. There were people who had actually done a further deeper investigation into checking with Kenyan authorities, port of entry, and all these people to see if they actually entered Kenya, and they were saying no. And there were other checks for other countries. So it's very, and then when people were asking a lot about what happened to them, that's when you started seeing these reporters who were planting stories saying, oh, Interpol is looking for them, or Mnangagwa says the same thing, and then you go to Interpol and it's like, no, nothing. So it's just very suspicious.
Okay. DJ.
Yes, Chief. Any more news you can share with our listener here?
What I can review from my sources is I mean, of course, it's not really confirmed, but it also gave me hope because I was one of the people who was worried that these people could be dead. But I mean, someone just called me, I think 2-3 days ago, and he's one of my sources. They're saying one of the online newspapers contacted that person saying Kaskwere wanted to speak to that person, who is my source. And the online newspaper was asking if they could give Kaskwere the number of this person. And that person, reached over to me. What should we do? Should I give my number so that Kaskwere can get in touch? And then that person was asking, what does Kaskwere want from me? Because they're not even, they were not even talking. They're not even related. And then the editor for that online newspaper said, no, Kaskwere was saying he knows you from a long time ago. And then when the person also looked back, he said, oh, okay, they were once in touch. Kaskwere was like dating the sister. So now Kaskwere wants to get hold of this person. This person happens to be, a social media activist. So we believe, he wants to say something. So we have given them the number. So we are waiting for Kaskwere to get hold of this person. And 2 days ago, I was also talking to someone, one of my contacts, a social media activist as well. The person is saying she will be interviewing Kaskwere shortly in the next 2-3 days. And I was like, is he really alive? Where is he? And he said, oh, no, he's in Kenya. Said, oh, really? Then, I mean, that's the information I got. And this person is waiting for to have an interview with Kaskwere. He was even saying, she was talking to him, and he was very disappointed with what Mutuma Mawere did, because they had a conversation over the phone, and it was supposed to be, a personal conversation. But unfortunately, Mutuma Mawere was recording whatever conversation they were having, and then he aired that conversation
on Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live. But now we are going to have Kaskwere coming to the, on Facebook Live and talking to this person. I don't know how far true it is, but that's the information I have right now. And to me, it gives me some kind of hope that, they are alive. Because, I mean, even though we belong to different sides, a person's life is a person's life. But you pedu, whether it ari enemy and asri enemy.
So Chief, when I know you don't want to disclose a lot here, but when can we expect this Facebook Live interview with that person?
I'm told in the next 2 days.
In the next 2 days, okay. All right. We shall be waiting for it.
We'll just be waiting.
All right. Thank you. Atuzia Sekuru, have you had anything?
Well, I spoke to somebody who assured me that after the raids and after the detention in Mnangagwa's house, he spoke to Kasukwere outside the country. And the conversation, and his family is also gone out of the country. So that is in respect of Kasukwere. In respect of Jonathan Moore, I have heard nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So
nobody has heard nothing from Jonathan Moore. Yes.
No. Right now, I was speaking to Mugabe's cousin. What do you call it? I was talking to Mugabe's cousin. When I mentioned the name Kasukwere in Jonathan Moore, he just went off.
Right.
I'm talking about Joao. I was talking to Joao just now. And then when I mentioned Kasukwere and Jonathan Moore, he just went off the line.
But Sekuru, aren't Joao and Kasukwere and Moyo supposed to be organizing some comeback?
Well, I don't know, because some people are saying they are planning a comeback in the G40. I've seen a Twitter, on my Twitter handle, I've seen threads that they are going to cause mayhem with the G40, and they are going to ensure that Lacoste does not win at any cost.
Yeah.
All this I'm seeing on my Twitter. What I'm talking about is talking about a particular person to a particular person. So I was talking to Joao now, and then when I mentioned the minute I mentioned, that was my last line, and then there was no.
Ran away.
and Sekuru. So where is Grace Mugabe? We have not seen her, have we?
Well, I understand Grace is still in the country, and I have seen people complaining that I've seen Teach complaining that they are holding an incoming card with the husband, so that he dies a slow death without immediate care. But that is our own Teach. I don't know anything more about Grace other than that she is not with the husband. That's all I can
She's
say.
She's not with the husband.
That's what I'm led to believe.
So they've been separated.
They've been, according to rumors, it's like Grace is still in Zimbabwe and the husband is out of the country.
Right.
Yeah, hasn't Mugabe come back from the hospital yet?
Which hospital? From Malaysia?
Yeah.
That's where I understand him to be. Unless if he came and I didn't get a wind of it.
All right. Thank you so much. Mukoma Benford, last time you said you don't think it is worthy of us talking about it. Kasukwere and Moyo are presumed well in Zimbabwe. They are not missing persons. They are getting on with their lives, and that's the end of the story. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, I still stand by what I said. What I hope is all the guys who on that previous show were saying that there was no way Jonathan Moore and Kasugwere would have escaped from gunfire. I think they were labeling it as a Van Damme Act or a Houdini Act for them to survive. I hope once these guys have started doing these interviews, they will come on the show and just
don't hold your breath, Benford.
That they were completely off. Okay. Again, like I've been saying, I don't think it's worth our time. Maybe if I can just use the next few seconds to highlight something about ELLIOT PFEFE candidacy. What I was trying to say, ELLIOT is not only qualified to be an MP, he's more than that. ELLIOT is actually qualified to be leading the MDC. Okay? It's just how qualified he is. Okay? What I was questioning, which our listeners should be clear about, is the transparency that we should demand from any political party. It doesn't matter whether you're running PF, MDC or NDP or whatever. We want transparency. If we have a procedure, out, this is how we select our candidates. We want to see everyone united through that. If ELLIOT is coming, he should be vetted like anybody. And after that process, we say, okay, here is our candidate. Okay? If you just take me here and you just say, okay, Benford is going to be your candidate, just because we feel he's more than qualified, that is wrong. Okay?
But Sekuru didn't say that, Benford. So stop harping on about the same thing all the time. Sekuru never said that.
Let me finish. Okay, so that is part of what I was questioning. Okay, the opposition is always saying we want free and fair elections. Okay, that is, the right that we should all be calling for. But it also starts within their own systems. Okay, when we are having your primary elections, there should be free and fairness. Okay, Sekuru was just saying one candidate who was popular in Mbare was just thrown to the side because Eric Knight was there. Where was the fairness to that candidate, given what he had clamored for? So, if you in the opposition are going to say, let's have free and fair elections, that should start within your house. If we are not seeing that fairness, if we are not seeing people expressing themselves freely within your organization, then don't just come and make noise at the national level. That's what I'm saying here. And we should.
But Benford, do you know that I am also as good as anybody at spinning words? I am telling you that I did not say what you are saying. The question was to me, you wanna say Konya Eric. My response was, and then the question was, you could Akabudamu MTC. Then I said to him to the question, Eric was not an MDC member of North. He was closer to Chamisa and managed to become an MP candidate from Mbare through Chamisa. Then that's when you blew up and said, how can you say that? You shouldn't say that. But that is exactly what I said. And I still maintain that.
Even after your clarification, I still maintain that.
I still maintain that because I clarified that because his closeness to Chamisa put him in a better position to be nominated as the MDC MP for Mbare. And you wanted me to say the best person didn't get the job. I don't know about that.
Okay, last time, let me clarify again. What I'm talking about, the moment you mention closeness to someone, in as far as I'm concerned, you are removing the transparency.
No. Let me tell you something. I am closer. Let me tell you something. I am closer to Tangirai than Tamborinho guys. Right? I'm better qualified to be Tangirai's spokesperson than Tamborinho guys. But if now Hang on. If now Tsvangirai says, I'm going to get Mzili to be my spokesperson, what will you say? He's closer to Tsvangirai, that's why he's in position.
Nepotism.
That's
right,
it.
Benford would say.
Okay, you gave a very good example. Okay?
Yeah.
What I would expect, I would not expect to hear anyone from MDC saying Muzili got this position because he is closer to Tsvangirai.
Why not?
I expect them to say because he is more qualified. It's based on merit.
But we can't say that because we know that in any constituency, we know that in any constituency, those that hold positions are not the best qualified in any organization. Even in the job market itself, we know that the person who occupies a certain position does not mean he is the best in the country.
Can I say something, please?
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. I know Sekuru and Mkoma Benford there will fight all night. Cicero, do you want to say something?
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
But in the MDC, there is still a selection process.
Correct. And that process can...
Let's leave it at that, Sekuru. Let's leave it at that. There is a selection process.
Let me emphasize that in the MDC, there is a selection process, but its outcome can never guarantee that the best person will come up tops, because there are other numerous things that are considered in that selection process.
Okay.
Including who you are close to?
No, there is a selection process.
If you want to stick on that one, stick on it.
Yeah, stick on it. Advertise it, Ben, but it's not a problem.
And that's what he's going to be doing.
Right. Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. Mkoma Wilbert.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Mkoma Wilbert, can you tell me one reform that you'd like Mnangagwa to do tomorrow?
Well, one of the reforms that he could easily do actually is free up the media. There is absolutely no excuse why we still have the public media that is in the monopoly of ZANU-PF. A democratic nation needs a free democratic, where there's freedom of expression, the media is free of control of any political party, so that there is meaningful interchange of ideas. The electorate can only choose the best candidate when they can hear the opinions of MDC, ZANU-PF, Skosana, and so forth. Then they can make up their mind. Not always to hear ZANU-PF's point of view on all issues and everybody else is blacked out. How are people going to make a meaningful choice without a free media? So a free media is important, and it can be done without having to do anything. You can get up tomorrow and say, from now on, abolish Ministry of Information. We don't need it. We don't need a Ministry of Propaganda. We don't need ZBC to have monopoly on the airwaves and television. Open it up to competition so that there are more like yourself, Zimnet Radio. You can also start hiring time so that you can air on ZBC using ZBC equipment. That is what we need. That is one reform that could be done without spending any money. In fact, we'll be saving the taxpayer money, paying all these bureaucrats who are there to brainwash people.
Okay, right. Sekuru, what reform would you want Mnangagwa to make tomorrow for you to at least get a bit convinced with him?
Me, I want the reform that I really want ZANU-PF to do tomorrow is to take the constitution, right, and say this is our only law today. Anything else is now and void until it is aligned to this constitution. If he does that, I know he's serious.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't expect you to say that, Sekuru, but very interesting. Chief Sose.
Yeah, DJ. Yes.
Chief Sose, is something, one thing that you think if Mnangagwa does tomorrow, you would think twice about giving him a chance? Reform, that is?
No. I know. I can never give that many chance. I mean, no ways. It can never be one reform. If I have to give him a chance, then he has to do all the reforms as stipulated by the SADC, set of guidelines to free and fair elections. But if it is just for the purposes of this discussion, yes, let's have him free the airwaves, like what Mkoma Benford said. We want to see Tangirai on ZTV,
yes,
Jacob Ngaru on ZTV,
yeah,
and so forth. And then we need, him to denounce violence, so that the opposition parties can go to Nduramoyo, can go to Weza, can go everywhere. And it begins with the president making a firm statement about violence. He hasn't said anything. And as long as he himself is still seem like he's violent towards a certain group of Zimbabweans, like right now what he's doing against the G40, that cascades down to the person who is in Weza. This is what the president is being vindictive. So people will be fighting. So we want to see Mnangagwa standing up and denouncing violence and spelling it out to his army and to the police.
Okay. Thank you so much. Tete Sali, what would you like him to do tomorrow?
Exactly what Sekuru said. I want to hear him write people within the next 36 hours. The Constitution, every single bit of the Constitution is going to be aligned.
Right.
That is what I want. And also the denouncing of violence and holding the people that are perpetrators accountable.
Okay.
But the Constitution for me is the main thing. But like Chief Soswe said, he could dance on the moon with gold shoes and hand me diamonds from Chiwedza if there are any left. Okay, and I'd still tell him, hey, sunshine, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You can stick it to where sun don't shine.
You can take your diamonds, okay, and donate them to Grace's orphanage there in Mazoe, because he will never buy me. He will never convince me. Finish. There's nothing that he can do that will convince me.
Right, okay.
Nothing.
Thank you so much. Let me read this message coming from this brother. He's saying that, why does Mkoma Benford always remind us of not voting for MDC all the time? Stay with your vote, my brother. That's what someone is saying here. Right. Mkoma Benford.
Yes.
Is there any reform that you would like the president to implement tomorrow that you think it should be implemented?
Okay, if there is anything that I don't want Mnangagwa to be doing, okay, is to be using executive powers. Okay? What I would want, if we are going to make any reforms, it should come from our parliament. So as soon as our parliament sits, we should see both the opposition and current ZANU-PF MPs making those reforms. I don't want the reforms to be coming from Mnangagwa, because we are going to set a precedence. Okay? Remember, if you start making these executive orders right now, if you win, come what June, come July, you have 5 years. And you will start to make those executive orders bypassing parliament. Okay? And yet you would have set this precedent right now. So I don't want him to make any
neither do I.
Orders by himself.
No, freeing the airwaves doesn't need executive orders.
I don't want any executive orders. Everything must go before Parliament.
Constitution.
Is FOSA. Okay? If FOSA was put by Parliament, it's Parliament which is supposed to reverse that.
No, POSA has been reversed by Parliament to the extent that it is not aligned to the Constitution.
So Parliament needs to do whatever they need to do to align every law that we have.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Exactly.
Yes. And I don't want Mnangagwa to be giving orders because
No,
we
who
will
said
set a
anything about
precedent
executive orders?
But
Peru.
Mnangagwa
Okay.
swore to uphold the Constitution.
Okay, one last thing, DJ Sodza. One thing that I don't want Mnangagwa to be doing, okay, which he has said he's going to do, is he's going to meet with traditional chiefs. Okay? It's one thing I don't want him to do because it's going to interfere with the electorate. My chief said we know how they've been abused by ZANU-PF. And
It's
I'm really worried.
the Constitution.
I'm really worried that Mnangagwa is going to have a meeting with the traditional chiefs because it's going to mess. So that's one thing I can point out. Otherwise, in terms of changing anything, I don't want him to be leading that. I would want our parliamentarians, once Parliament comes, to be more active, and they should be sending bills, sending laws to align our constitution with what we want in Zimbabwe.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Teteros.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What reform would you like Mnangagwa to put in tomorrow for you to be convinced?
I'll never be convinced.
All right, but would you like him to do any reform?
Yes, I would like to see a completely non-partisan, demilitarized ZAC, an independent organization that is respectful of people's rights and people's rights to vote, that conducts a proper election. I have not seen that from ZAC. ZAC has not educated anyone. We still have a lot of questions in regards to the fact that it's partisan. So the biggest thing that I would like to see is a completely independent organization, maybe dismantling of ZAC, and an organization that is picked, maybe voted for by Parliament or whatever it is, demilitarized, that doesn't have C-10s and all these military people in it that actually influence how the vote is supposed to go. That would be the thing I would want.
What beef have you got with ZAC?
Beef with me with ZAC?
Yeah.
Well, ZAC is not an independent organization. If you look at some of those people in ZAC, if you actually look at some of the commissioners, if you do a research of some of those commissioners, you look at certain commissioners like Big something, I can't even say his name. That guy was, yeah, that guy actually went on record, okay, to say he's actually a ZAC commissioner who went on record that he felt ZANU-PF should be in power because he feels they would be better for the country. And this is a person who's supposed to be an independent commissioner who is saying these things, and he's not the only one who has said such things. You actually observe some of these people even on social media who are something, and I follow him. And you see him saying, yes, you see him saying very, very, very partisan things. And then you sit there and you wonder, but this is a commissioner who's supposed to be an independent. How are they going to ensure that, my vote is respected when they already strongly believe that a specific political party should be in power?
Okay.
So there's a lot of issues that ZAC has. And then this whole issue, okay, now Rita Makarao is gone, fine. But right now we still have the issue, we do not even know if ZAC is using this Lexington firm for BVR registration. But they do not have the central system where the data is supposed to be stored. We still know nothing about. There is nothing straightforward about ZAC. Everything is secretive.
All right.
Everything is clandestine.
Okay, Tete. Thank you. It looks like I'm picking on you here, but it's very interesting and important for our listeners to understand when you guys are so unhappy about ZEC, for them to understand why you are unhappy. Now, who appoints these people at ZEC? Who appoints them?
The president.
The president handpick people to put to run ZEC.
People are put forward and then he makes the final decision and appoints them. So of course it's not going to be somebody who like right now who's going to go against the interests of of the president. Why wouldn't the president pick someone who's going to be loyal to him? And one of the things that when we talk about reform, if you look at the registration guidelines, the electoral law itself that needs reform, you find that the first paragraph itself says ZEC has to get its permission from the Minister of Justice, who has to approve certain things. And a lot of the things that were going on now, those things that are in that manual, they had to be approved by Emerson Mnangagwa, who is now the president. And this same Emerson Mnangagwa has said that the ZANU-PF will rule forever. You know, and then we're supposed to trust anything that comes out of that commission. The very first paragraph in the electoral reform law that this agency runs on is based on them saying the Minister of Justice, who happens to be Emerson Mnangagwa at the time.
All right.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Sekuru.
Yeah.
Sakuru, can I ask you this question? I know time here that is in, but can I ask you this question? Sakuru, can you explain to someone who doesn't really know about politics what should be the criteria of assembling ZEC? What qualities, or I don't know, what qualities should those people in those positions at ZEC be? Should they be a card-carrying supporter for a party in Zimbabwe? Or how can you differentiate these people kuti iwewe, like pandiri panapa inini mungandiziwa here kuti ndiri munhu weZANU kana ndiri munhu weMDC if I don't disclose it to you? How can they employ people there that are neutral?
The issue is not about do they belong to political parties or not. The issue is when they are nominated by their constituencies to represent them on a ZEC, they should then shed off their political jackets and become national symbols of unity, of fairness, of justice, and tolerance in elections. Now, this doesn't happen when the ZANU-PF nominates people, and the MDC nominates people, and then DND nominates people, and they go in there representing a party, not representing a national issue.
Okay.
Can I just say one thing?
Sorry. So in this case, you see my Mukuru there, the lady talking there in America there. Passionate as she is with opposition politics, if we were to nominate her to be on ZEC, she should then stop her partisanship.
Yeah.
And they say, now I've got a national jacket on my shoulders. My job now is to see to it that fairness is done, and anything that is going to do with the MDC or ZANU-PF or any competing political party is got absolutely nothing to do with me for the time that I'm serving as a commissioner.
It's like as a doctor, Sekuru. If you are a doctor and you see Morgan Changirai walking through, you have to operate on him. He's got I don't know, an ischemic bowel, for example. You have to operate on him. You have to do it to the best of your ability, regardless of iwewe uriwe ZANU-PF kana uriwe MDC. Is that what you are telling me, Sekuru? You have to be professional.
Actually, you've come up with a very good example. When he walks into the door there, the receptionist should not see the leader of MDC. He should see a patient.
Right.
When he goes into his ward, the doctor and the nurse should not see the leader of the MDC. They should see a sick patient.
Mm.
And they should work to the standards that they employ in resuscitating or recovering a sick person. Mm-hmm. Not a sick leader.
Right.
You see, I would make a fantastic ZEC person because I owe my allegiance to nobody but myself.
Salut, campaign.
Any political party, I would make a fantastic whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
The problem we have in ZEC is those commissioners were nominated by parties, and they are still party functionaries in ZEC. Some of them were seconded from the military, and they are still part of the military. We don't need that.
They're supposed to give up their party politics completely.
Right.
Until the service is finished.
Okay. Teteros, you want to say something there?
Yes, I wanted to say one final thing. To be honest with you, my take now on ZEC is that ZEC is not going to conduct a free and fair election no matter what. Zimbabwe just needs a completely independent organization to run this election. And then once we have a real free and fair election, then we start building institutions that are independent of political parties. That's what I think. But it's not going to happen, but that's what I think will actually bring a free and fair election in Zimbabwe. ZEC is never going to give us a free and fair election.
They won't. Sekuru, can't they nominate somebody that's not in the party?
They can. Actually, that is the ideal. The ideal is to nominate somebody who is not connected to the party. That's why you found that in the first mayoral elections after Mzuri, the MDC nominated Muchade Masunda. Muchade Masunda was not even a member of the party. But he became the first mayor to be on this new local government act. And he did his best to be neutral until the ZANU-PF people said, no, we don't want the mayor to be executive. We want him to be non-executive. That's where it went wrong.
All right.
So the parties can nominate somebody that's not affiliated to party politics.
Yes, they can. We can nominate a legal practitioner. We can nominate a doctor. We can nominate a street kid.
Okay.
That's what the should be now.
Yeah. Zvisinei zvatakuita panapa regai tichionekana titi susu tosangana sondo rinouya. We shall meet again next week.
What did you say that in Anjatauro near Zeki?
We are missing Mr. Moyo very much. Benford could do the job better. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
What I was going to say, Nenya Zeki, is it has to do like when I tell Judge, we need to parliamentarians do change mtemo yake. For example, based on our constitution, chairman with ZEC has to be a judge. Okay? And we know we've always said Mugabe, he picks my judges, some judiciary system. So automatically, you are going to get another presumed ZANU-PF judge being the leader or the chairman or president of ZEC.
Can I just correct you there? Can I just correct you?
That's again going to present another problem. Unless we have a constitutional change that says we can pick anybody and therefore unokwanisa kulead ZEC yacho. We continue to have that.
Benford.
Yes.
Can I just correct you? I'm not going to argue with you. The Constitution doesn't say the chairman of SEC must be a judge. The Constitution says it must be a person qualified as a judge or a sitting judge or qualified to be a judge. So you can pick anybody outside the judiciary system who has got qualifications of a judge.
Okay.
Or a retired judge, for that matter.
Okay.
So that is the correction that I wanted to make only.
Yeah, which makes sense. But as it is, I can almost guess and tell you that Rita Makarau is going to be probably replaced by Judge Chwesh.
Well, if that happens, then what do you want us to say? Do you want us to say that ZEC is now reformed?
I don't know, but I'm just
so. I mean,
but isn't Chwesh an army guy?
The coup guy?
Isn't he part of the army?
He is the same Chwesh who was the former judge in 2008. He was the chairman of the ZEC when the elections, when the commission board could not count 3.7 million votes in 35 days.
Yes. Okay, is it the same guy who sanitized the coup?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay, right. Gisney, Regaiti Daiso. Thank you so much, Sally. Mukoma Penford, Teteros, there, Sekuru, Namkoma Wilbet. Teteros.
Yes.
Muripa WhatsApp, here.
Yeah, and Muripa WhatsApp.
All right. Just talk to so that we can communicate with you on WhatsApp as well.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes we want you to give us some topics as well to discuss. You're always free to give us, topics to discuss as well.
And also, I would like to thank Muzukuru wangu Rosi. Naso wanga uchibheva chaizvo, wanga uchidera.